They love me like that. They love me like that. They love me like oh. I don't wanna see your face no more. That you on the dance floor.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So based on the title of this video, you can see that I will be telling you guys why I didn't go to college. And I do want to start off by basically saying this is in no way a video that's saying don't go to college. Like, I'm not encouraging people to not learn and not, you know, do what they feel like they need to do. Like, this is not saying don't go to college. This is just my experience and my story on why I didn't go to college. But I will be breaking this down into two parts. So part one will basically just be like a background story of what led me to this decision, which is mainly just situated around like my senior year of high school, the last few months of my senior year of high school. And then the second part will be just kind of more so my views on why I don't think college is the path for me. So yeah, this story is still important though. So yeah, I'll start out with my senior year. Class of 2017, I went to a private Catholic high school in my hometown. And yeah, everything was going smoothly at first. You know, this year they'd made a few changes, basically saying if you miss school, we've set up this new online thing where you can still get your homework and contact your teacher and get your notes through, you know, your iPad on the updated Canvas thing that we were using. I know some colleges actually use Canvas, but anyways, so I was like, okay, cool. So everything was going smoothly. I had 5 extracurricular extracurricular classes my first semester, and then 2 classes, but I didn't need any of those 7 classes to graduate. So this kind of, when I heard like we can find stuff out online and I don't need these classes to graduate, that the classes I need to graduate are in my second semester, I was like, ooh, like, this is ringing some ideas in my head. So I wasn't like, you know, first day of senior year, I'm skipping school. Like, a couple months in, I was like, okay, this is very repetitive. I'm not learning anything new. These aren't even these are classes that are fun. Like, these are for fun classes. They're not really relevant to what I'm trying to do. So I started skipping school, which I don't recommend skipping school. Again, this is just my story. This isn't like encouraging any sort of behavior. But I did start skipping school, and then when I was skipping school though, I was working. I keep burping. I was working and I was babysitting, so I was doing stuff outside of school. I wasn't, when I did skip school, I will say that like every single day I wasn't like working to skip school. Like, sometimes I would just chill because I was doing extracurricular classes. Like, since we had a rotating schedule, there would be some days where literally all my classes were extracurricular, and I was just like, that's dumb. So anyways, everything was running fine until then. Well, fine this first semester, since they were extracurricular since they were extracurricular classes, I was, you know, it wasn't like I was learning anything major. Like, I think one of them was like debate or something. But I was still like, since we had the online thing, I was still getting the notes. I was still getting like what our homework was, and basically teaching myself outside of class, because I've never done well in a classroom setting anyways. So like, even freshman through junior year, most of the time I would have to either ask a classmate to put it into their words for me to understand it, or I'd have to take the materials home with me and basically teach myself what it is that we are being taught. Because for some reason, the way the teachers taught me, not all of them didn't like teach me. I'm not even going to say like they didn't teach me, but the way that my thought process works, since I am like a self-learner, I've self-taught myself a lot of things. So that's just naturally how I learned the best. So I would have to take a lot of stuff home and teach myself the stuff anyways. So senior year, I just don't think they really picked up on that, since I wasn't skipping school up until senior year. But senior year, of course, I start skipping school. I'm still getting A's and B's, and this raised attention to them. And yeah, so one day I did get called into the office. This is towards like the last 5 months of my senior year, and I was basically told, if you don't start showing up to school, we will take your parents to court. We'll take you to court, like me and my parents, because I was a minor, so I couldn't just go to court on my own. and you know, you can't just be skipping school, yada yada yada. And I was like, I don't see what the problem is if I'm still getting A's and B's. I've turned in all my applications for college. I've literally gotten accepted to all the colleges that I applied to, and I received scholarships for all the colleges I applied to. So I don't see what the big deal is, because I've done what, you know, what you guys were supposed to do, you know, you know, teach a student, make good students, because it is a college preparatory school. So like, I've completed the job. And he kind of like ignored this and didn't like say like why that was a big deal, but he basically was just saying like, it's important for you to be in a classroom, you need to be in a classroom setting is very essential to learning. And I was, in my head, I'm like, I don't even learn well in a classroom, because when like people are talking and I'm nosy, so I'll start like eavesdropping on who's sitting next to me, or like people will just be loud and I'm over here like trying to be working, which is why I always had my headphones in, because I can't focus on, you know, my work if there's so much stuff happening around me. So I didn't even went over my head. But yeah, so I didn't see that as a big deal, but I was just like, whatever. I still was skipping school to work, because I was like, I only need these 3 classes to graduate, and I'm still getting A's and B's, and I have the scholarships, and I'm accepted. I wouldn't say I kind of had like, I wouldn't say I had like an ego, but I was just like, you know, I've done everything I need to do, whatever. And so they didn't like that, and I don't know who it was, if it was the principal or I don't know who did it, but somebody went to the teachers in the 3 classes that I needed to graduate and told them to stop accepting my homework. So, you know, I'm skipping school, turning in this homework in these classes that I wasn't present in, and they start giving me zeros on all of it. So my grades go from A's and B's and drop down to like 10, 14s, 7s, 17s. Everything was under 30%. And that like blew my mind. I was like, what in the world? Like, you can't just stop accepting my work. You can't not allow me to make up a test. What if I was actually sick? Like, I know I might sound like the boy that cried wolf since I'd been skipping school, but if I was actually sick and I can't make up a test, which is, you know, a certain percentage of your grade, that you guys know, I don't like that. So I went to my principal again, and I was like, who, you know, stopped allowing my work to be accepted? Why did this happen? This doesn't make sense. And again, my questions were not answered. So at that point, I started to get frustrated, and this is where I had like a shift in my mind. I was like, what even is school? Like, clearly if I'm getting A's and B's, I'm still learning. You cannot get A's and B's if you do not understand the material that you're being tested on, or, you know, yeah, you just can't. Like, I'm not a dictionary, I'm not Google, I just don't know this stuff without actually taking the time to learn it. And I'm not, you can clearly see, I'm not copying the work off of anyone. I have my own words. I sound a certain type of way when I write my papers, when I respond to questions. Like, you know, it's me. So what is the problem? And then I was like, yeah, so what even is school? And this is where I was just like, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I don't have anything against anyone who does go to school. I actually have friends that are in college. I support them going to college. Like, I'm not like, you don't need to be there. Like, no, this is just me, my personal thoughts, opinions, views. So basically I was just like, I'm waking up early, I'm going to school, and I get out of school, go home, and repeat this Monday through Friday, the same time that you work, like a 9-to-5 job. Not the same exact time, but like 7 to 3, 9 to 5, like that's 2-hour differences. So it's basically the same thing. And I was like, I actually kind of feel, that's when I started to like kind of think like, what is school preparing me for? Like, and then comparing it to what I wanted to do with my future. Like, where did I see my future going? So I was just kind of like, like, I don't know, but I wasn't full, like, I didn't just like have this aha moment. I was just like, this is it. But like, this is where my mind started to, you know, shift on it. So I did start to get a little bit fed up with the whole thing. So I went to the principal's office again, and for some reason I remember having like an anxiety attack. I don't even remember what the context of it was, but I kind of felt like I'd been like defeated or like broken, and I just like started bawling, crying. I was like freaking out, and then I went back to the principal's office a few days later after I had this little anxiety attack, and I was like, I'm transferring schools. And my principal, she's just kind of like, what do you mean? Like, what did your mom say about this? You can't just transfer schools. You can't do that. And I was like, I can. Like, watch me go do that. Because honestly, I'm the type of person, if you try to force me into doing something that I don't want to do, it's not going to happen. Like, I don't know what it is in me, but like, if you try to force me, something in my mind is just like, no. Like, if I say I don't want to do it, then I don't want to do it. So I went home that day, told my mom, I was like, if I don't transfer into an online school, I will drop out of school. Like, this is what will happen. And I was like, I want to graduate. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be a high school dropout, but we need to get myself transferred out of here now. So my mom, she starts helping me find these online schools, and I was like, yay. And so I went into school like a couple weeks later. I was like, I got everything transferred over, and my last day would be this Friday. I don't know if it was actually this Friday, but it was some day. So yeah, I transferred out of that school. I didn't graduate from there. I ended up in this online school. I had 3 months of school left. 3 months of school left. And literally, I finished high school. Okay, so I did some homework for like the first week, and then like I just stopped. And you know, you're probably thinking, did you really graduate? Yes, I did. So like the last 2 days of my senior year, I kid you not, I literally finished all 3 months worth of high school in 2 days. And I was like, wow. I did have to work for like 48 hours, but you know, it was worth it because I did get to work during that period and save up some money and whatnot. So yeah, then I really started to think, if I can graduate high school in 2 days, when they, you know, say that it's impossible to finish 3 months worth of schoolwork in 2 days, you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to graduate, you know, that's why would I, you know, not why would I believe that, but kind of just like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if I was able to do it, if I was able to do something that you guys said is not possible, that I can't do, and I did it, like, what does that mean for me and my future and my life? So that's when things like really flipped. And after high school, I did end up going to Chicago and Atlanta for 4 months. So that's when everything like completely went like 360, and I really like figured out, like, you know, not what my purpose is, but like what it was exactly that I wanted to do. Like, I knew what I wanted to do, I didn't know how to do it. And then that Chicago and Atlanta experience kind of put me in a position to where I know how to do it. But that is irrelevant to this right now. So yeah, part 2, I'll kind of be just giving more so my views on how this high school experience affected my decisions. And yeah, what else? I know I had one more thing. Oh yeah, so thanks for watching. Again, this was not encouragement to, you know, not go to school, not go to college, to skip school, to, you know, to do what I did. This is just kind of following my intuition, and it led me to where I am now. And I feel like I'm in a position where I feel comfortable sharing my experience, and I will have a part 2. This is just if there's anyone out there that, so my camera literally overheated and like randomly died on me. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to see part 2 on my views and the main reasons why, like the actual reasons why I didn't go to college versus just the story time behind the events that led to me making those decisions and having those, and why I had those views, stay tuned, and you will see in part 2 kind of the deeper meaning of why I didn't go to college. Thanks for watching. Yeah. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and have a blessed day, everybody.